It's Saturday morning. You're at the grocery store and you see this guy pull up in a brand new Ford F-250. We're talking $75,000 of gleaming metal, lifted, chrome package, the works. He parks it across two spaces because of course he does. And here's the thing that's wild to me. I guarantee you that truck has never seen a construction site. It's never hauled lumber. It's never been off-road. The bed is so pristine you could eat off it. This is what people in the car community call a pavement princess, and it's the perfect metaphor for why so many Americans are completely broke. I always wondered why people who make good money are still broke, and I think I finally cracked it. If you work hard and make a decent income, but somehow still feel financially stuck every month, I gotcha. And most traps like these are still unknown and unspoken, as the people on the top don't want you to know them. But I will decode all of them for you, so make sure you are subscribed, because each subscribe is making these videos possible every single week, and this isn't charging you any money. See, I'm not here to shame anyone for what they drive, but I am here to talk about the psychology behind why we buy things that actively destroy our financial future, because this goes way deeper than just trucks. This is about a trap that's keeping millions of people from building any real wealth, and most people have no idea they're even in it. And what most people don't realize is that the average monthly payment on a new vehicle in America right now is $736. $736 every single month for 6, 7, sometimes 8 years. And according to Experian's latest data, the average auto loan term has stretched to 68 months. That's over 5.5 years of payments. We're financing cars longer than most people stay married. But the strange thing is, if you actually run the math on what that $736 payment costs you over time, it's not just the sticker price of the vehicle. Let's say you're 28 years old and you're going to have a car payment for the rest of your working life. Most people do. They pay off one car and immediately roll into another. So from 28 to 65, that's 37 years. At $736 a month, that's $326,000 just in car payments. Now you might be thinking, okay, but I need a car. Everyone needs a car. And you're right, but here's the thing nobody talks about. What if instead of always having a $736 payment, you drove a paid-off car worth maybe $10,000 or $12,000, and you invested that $736 every single month at a conservative 8% average annual return, which is below the historical stock market average? That same money turns into $3.4 million by the time you're 65. $3.4 million versus a series of depreciating assets that are worth basically nothing. That's the real cost of the Pavement Princess Trap. And it's not just about trucks. It's about every single thing we buy to look like we're doing better than we actually are. See, here's what's happening psychologically. We've completely confused wealth with the appearance of wealth. And the appearance of wealth is actually the enemy of building real wealth. There's this fascinating study from the Journal of Consumer Research that found that people who display high status goods are actually more likely to have lower savings rates and higher debt loads than people who don't. Think about that. The guy in the $75,000 truck is statistically more likely to be broke than the guy in the 10-year-old Toyota. This is what Thomas Stanley found when he wrote The Millionaire Next Door. Real millionaires, people with actual net worth, don't drive new luxury cars. They don't lease Range Rovers. They drive paid-off Hondas and Fords that are 7, 8, 10 years old, because they understand something fundamental. Your car is not an investment. Your car is not building your future. Your car is an expense that depreciates roughly 20% the second you drive it off the lot. But we've been conditioned to think the opposite. We've been taught that what you drive says something about who you are, that you deserve to treat yourself, that you work hard so you should have nice things. And look, I get it. I understand the appeal. There's a real dopamine hit when you're sitting in a brand new vehicle with that new car smell, knowing that you're the first person to ever sit in that seat. I understand that emotional pull. But here's the brutal truth. That feeling lasts about 3 weeks, and then it's just your car. It's just the thing that gets you to work. Except now you're stuck with a payment that's going to follow you for the next 6 years. Now you might be thinking, but I got a good deal. I negotiated. My interest rate isn't that bad. It doesn't matter. Even if you got 0% financing, which almost nobody qualifies for anymore with interest rates where they are, you're still taking $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 that could be growing for you and locking it into something that loses value every single day you own it. Let's get specific with some real numbers because I think this is where it clicks for people. Let's say you're looking at two options. Option 1, you buy a $45,000 truck. You put $5,000 down, you finance $40,000 at 6% interest over 72 months. Your payment is $661 a month. Over the life of that loan, you'll pay $47,592 for a truck that in 6 years will be worth maybe $20,000 if you're lucky. Option 2, you buy a $12,000 used truck in cash. It's 7 years old, it's got 90,000 miles, it runs great, and you take that $661 monthly payment and you put it in a Roth IRA in a simple index fund. After those same 6 years, just 6 years, you have $56,000 in that account. And here's the beautiful part, you still have a truck. It's not shiny and new, but it gets you where you need to go just fine. Except now you also have $56,000 working for you. And if you keep doing that, if you keep driving paid-off cars and investing that payment for 20, 30, 40 years, you retire with millions while everyone else is still trying to figure out how they're going to afford their next car payment in retirement. This is where it gets really dark, though. The Pavement Princess Trap isn't just about cars. It's a mentality. It's about buying the appearance of success while going broke in the process. It shows up in everything. It's the designer handbag you put on a credit card. It's the financed boat that sits in your driveway 10 months out of the year. It's the house that's twice as big as you need because you wanted to impress people you don't even like. It's the vacation you can't afford that you post on Instagram to make it look like you're living your best life while you're drowning in credit card debt. And here's what's insidious about this trap. It's self-reinforcing. The more you participate in it, the more you have to keep participating. Because once you've established this lifestyle, once all your friends think you're doing well, once your family expects you to show up in nice things, you can't scale back without it feeling like failure. You're stuck on a treadmill of consumption just to maintain an image. There's this concept in behavioral economics called the hedonic treadmill. Basically, it means we adapt to our circumstances incredibly quickly. When you buy something new and exciting, you get a temporary boost in happiness, but then you return to your baseline pretty fast. So you need the next thing and the next thing to get that same hit. It's why people who get raises immediately inflate their lifestyle instead of saving the difference. It's why lottery winners are often broke within a few years. We're wired to adapt, and advertisers know this. They're literally counting on it. The entire consumer economy is built on keeping you in this trap. Think about it. Car commercials don't sell you transportation. They sell you identity. They sell you freedom. They sell you sex appeal and adventure and status. Truck commercials especially. It's always some rugged guy hauling a boat or conquering a mountain trail. It's never some guy sitting in traffic on his way to his cubicle, which is what 99% of truck owners are actually doing with their trucks. Now look, I know some of you are thinking, but I actually use my truck for work. I need it. And if that's true, if you're a contractor or you haul equipment or you actually use the bed of your truck regularly, then this doesn't apply to you. A truck is a tool for your business. That's different. I'm talking about the people who buy trucks as lifestyle accessories, the people who convince themselves they need four-wheel drive and towing capacity they'll never use because twice a year they might help a friend move. Here's the question you need to ask yourself with every major purchase. Is this moving me toward financial independence, or is this moving me away from it? Because here's the thing most people don't realize. Financial independence isn't about being rich. It's about having enough money that you don't have to worry about money anymore. It's about getting to a point where you have options, where you can take a job you actually like instead of the one that pays the most, where you can say no to things that cost money, where an unexpected expense doesn't derail your entire month. And the path to financial independence is not complicated. It's just hard because it requires you to do the opposite of what everyone around you is doing. It requires you to drive a worse car than you can afford, to live in a smaller house than the bank will give you a mortgage for, to say no to purchases that would make you look successful so that you can actually become successful. There's this great line from Dave Ramsey. We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't like. And I think about that all the time because it's so painfully accurate. How much of what you own right now did you buy because you actually needed it versus because you wanted other people to think you were doing well? Here's something that blew my mind when I first learned it. According to the Federal Reserve's latest data, the median net worth for Americans under 35 is $13,900. $13,900. That means half of people under 35 have less than $14,000 to their name when you subtract all their debt. But if you just look around, it doesn't seem like people are broke. Everyone's driving nice cars. Everyone's taking vacations. Everyone's got the latest iPhone. How is that possible? Debt. It's all debt. We're a nation of broke people pretending to be rich. And this is the thing that makes me crazy. We've normalized being in debt. We've normalized car payments and credit card balances and student loans and financing furniture and putting groceries on a credit card that will pay off eventually. We've normalized a lifestyle that requires us to be in debt just to maintain it, and then we wonder why we're stressed about money all the time. Now you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds great in theory, but I've already got the truck, I've already got the payment, I'm already in the trap. What am I supposed to do now? And this is actually the most important part, because awareness without action doesn't change anything. First thing, stop digging. If you're in a hole, the first step is to stop making it deeper. That means no more new debt, no more financing things, no more I deserve this purchases on credit cards. You've got to break the cycle. Second, get really honest about what your stuff is costing you in opportunity cost. Sit down and actually calculate what your car payment, your credit card payments, your finance toys, what all of that would be worth if you were investing it instead. Use a compound interest calculator online. See the real numbers. Because I promise you, once you see that your $60 cable bill is actually costing you $300,000 over 30 years, you start making different choices real fast. Third, start finding ways to get out from under your worst offenders. If you're upside down on a car loan, which means you owe more than it's worth, this is painful but necessary. You might need to sell the vehicle, take out a small personal loan to cover the difference, and buy a beater with cash. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it's embarrassing. But you know what's more embarrassing? Being 70 years old and still broke because you spent your whole life making car payments. Fourth, build a gap between your income and your expenses. This is everything. Wealth isn't built by making more money. It's built by spending less than you make and investing the difference. If you make $70,000 a year and you spend $70,000 a year, you're broke no matter how nice your stuff is. But if you make 70 and you spend 50 and invest 20, you're on a path to actual wealth. And here's the beautiful thing about this. Once you get off the hedonic treadmill, once you stop trying to keep up with everyone else, life gets so much easier. You stop caring what people think about your car. You stop feeling like you need the latest thing. You start finding satisfaction in watching your net worth grow instead of watching your Instagram likes grow. I think about this all the time. Would you rather look rich or be rich? Because you can't do both, at least not while you're building wealth. The people who look rich are usually broke. The people who are rich usually look pretty average. They're the ones driving the paid-off cars and living in the modest houses and taking normal vacations because they figured out that real wealth is freedom, not stuff. And here's what nobody tells you about that freedom. It changes everything. When you have money saved, when you have investments growing, when you're not living paycheck to paycheck, you sleep better, you stress less. Your relationships improve because you're not fighting about money all the time. You have options when life throws you curveballs. You can actually help people when they need it. You can be generous. You can take risks on things you care about because you have a foundation underneath you. That's what we're trading away when we fall into the Pavement Princess Trap. We're trading our future freedom for current appearance. We're trading peace of mind for temporary status. And the math just doesn't work out. So here's my challenge to you. For the next 30 days, every time you're about to buy something that costs more than $50, ask yourself, is this building my future or stealing from it? Is this moving me toward freedom or away from it? Would I rather have this thing or have the money this thing costs working for me for the next 30 years? And look, I know this isn't easy. I know we live in a culture that's constantly screaming at us to buy more, consume more, upgrade more. I know your friends are going to judge you when you show up in an older car. I know your family might make comments about when you're going to get a real vehicle. But here's the thing, they're broke too. Most of them are. They're just better at hiding it than you are. The real rebels aren't the people buying $75,000 trucks they don't need. The real rebels are the people who opt out entirely. The people who say, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm going to live below my means, invest the difference, and build actual wealth, while everyone else is stuck making payments on stuff they don't even remember buying. Because in 20 years, those people are going to be financially independent while everyone else is still working jobs they hate to afford lifestyles they can't sustain. And that, to me, is the ultimate freedom. So yeah, the Pavement Princess Trap is real. It's everywhere. It's in your driveway, it's in your closet, it's in your garage, and it's quietly stealing your future one payment at a time. The question is, are you going to keep feeding it, or are you going to break free? If this video made you rethink even one purchase, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, and let me know what your pavement princess is. What's the thing you bought to look successful that's actually keeping you broke? Let's talk about it. And if you found this helpful, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because the more people who wake up to this trap, the less power it has. Thanks for watching. Now go cancel some subscriptions and sell some stuff you don't need. Your future self will thank you.